Good morning, students. In the previous class, we have learned how farming activities were done. We have also discussed the functions and importance of land, labor, and capital. Today's first topic we will discuss is on sale of surplus farm products. Let us first understand what is surplus. It is an economic term that is often used. So, surplus is the amount of something left over when requirements have been met. It is the excess of production or supply. What do you understand from this definition? It means the extra amount after producing a product and some part are consumed. Whatever amount is left is called as the surplus. That is, surplus is equal to production minus consumption. As land, labor and capital is put together to have a production, and after production some part of the produce are consumed and the leftovers are sold in the market, that leftover is called surplus. Let us suppose that the farmers have produced wheat on their lands using the three factors of production, that is, land, labor and capital. When the wheat is harvested and production is complete, farmers consume a part of the wheat as a subsistence and the remaining wheat is called surplus, which is further sold in the market. Small farmers like Savita and Gobind's son, they have little surplus wheat. We have studied about their story in the last class. They don't have enough produce, which could be sold in the market. Their production is kept for their family's consumption. If you look at the picture 1.1, you can see that the bullock cart is carrying loads of wheat and he is heading towards market. The traders at the market buys the wheat and sell it further to the shopkeepers in the towns and cities. Large farmers like Tejpal Singh has a surplus of 350 quintals of wheat. He sells the surplus wheat in the market and earns profit. What does Tejpal Singh do with his earnings? He had put most of the money in his bank account, later which was used for lending the money to a small farmer like Savita, who were in need of a loan. He also used the savings to buy capitals like tractors. By using such fixed capital, there will be increase in the production, which would again have surplus, and he would save more money and more capitals can be bought. By doing this, they were able to arrange capital for farming on their own savings. Now, let's discuss. Let us take three farmers. Each has grown wheat on his field, though the production is different. See column 2. That is this one. They have different production. The consumption of wheat by each farmer family is the same. The column 3. The consumption in the column 3 is same. The whole of surplus wheat this year is used as capital for next year's production. That is, the whole of surplus wheat in the year 1, 2 or 3 is used as capital for next year's production. Also, suppose production is twice the capital used in production. Complete the tables. In this table, there are different years given. In the year 1, it has production 100, consumption 40, surplus, which is the difference of production and consumption, that is 100 minus 40 is equal to 60. Here the surplus is saved for the capital for the next year, so it has to be 60, same as surplus. As mentioned that production is twice the capital, so the number for capital is doubled in the next year, that is in the year 2. Likewise, the surplus here is 80. After the subtraction of production and consumption, we get 80. So again, capital for the next year will be same as surplus, that is 80. In the production of year 3, again it will be doubled. the capital for the next year of year 2, that is 80, it will be doubled in the production of year 3. So it becomes 160. Consumption is 40. So the surplus will be 120. Subtracting 160 minus 40, we get 120. So the capital for the next year will be again 120, same as surplus. Use the same method and fill the column of these two tables. This will be your homework. Now let's look into non-farm activities in Palampur. We have learned about farming as the main production activity in Palampur. We shall now take a look at some of the non-farm production activities. Out of the total population in Palampur, only 25% of the people working in Palampur are engaged in activities other than agriculture. There are some of the activities that we will see. First is dairy, the other common activity. Dairy products are based on milk products. Dairy is a common activity in Palampur. Buffaloes are taken care and they are fed with various kinds of grass and also kharif crops like jowar and bajra. The buffalo milk is sold to the traders of Raiganj, and from Raiganj the milk is transported to faraway towns and cities. In the second point, that is an example of small-scale manufacturing in Palampur. Small-scale manufacturing means production done on a small level. Unlike the manufacturing that takes place in the big factories in the towns and cities, manufacturing in Palampur involves very simple production methods and are done on a small scale. They are carried out mostly at home or in the fields with the help of family labor. Here laborers are rarely hired. As an example, in the given story of Mishri Lal, he has purchased a mechanical sugarcane crushing machine that runs on electricity and has set it up on his field. Earlier, sugarcane crushing was done with the help of bullocks. Nowadays, people prefer to do it with machines. Mishrilal would also buy sugarcane from other farmers, and after the crushing, sugarcane is processed into jaggery and then it is sold to the traders at Shapur. By doing so, Mishrilal earns a small profit. And another example of small-scale manufacturing can also be making of pickles from home with the help of family members and selling it in the market. Here only the members of the family is providing the labor. Now in the third point, the shopkeepers of Palampur, we will see how small business such as shopkeeping is carried out. In Palampur, not many are involved in trading. Some traders of Palampur are shopkeepers who buy various goods from wholesale markets in the cities and sell them in the village by opening small shops. There are some small general stores selling items like rice, wheat, sugar, tea, oil, biscuits, soap, toothpaste, batteries, candles, notebooks, pen, pencil, and even some cloth. Have you ever noticed that there are some shops close to the bus stand? Even in Palampur, a few of the families whose houses are close to the bus stand have used a part of the space to open small shops. They sell eatables. Just as people open shops nearby where possibilities of getting customers are high, in the story of Karim, we will see that Karim also opened a computer class. First, he opened in the center of the village. He saw many students, they go to the college in Shapur town. And the students, they attend computer class in the town itself. Karim employed 2 women who had degree in computer application. He bought computers and now set up the class in the front room of their house overlooking the market in the village. Now many high school students started joining the class. Since it is located nearby, they don't need to travel in the town and get the class from village itself. Apart from those activities, there is also transport system. Here we will see how transport is a fast developing sector. Businesses such as dairy, small-scale manufacturing and the shopkeeping is not possible without the transportation system. They travel or carry commodities from place to place. As we have seen, there are a variety of vehicles on the road connecting Palampur to Raiganj. Rickshawalas, tongawalas, jeep, tractor, truck drivers and people driving the traditional bullock cart and buggy are people in the transport services. These people in transport services carry people and goods from one place to another, and in return they get paid for it. Over the years, this sector of transport has been growing as the population grows. And from the story of Kishora, we understand how the transportation was started for a farm laborer like him. As it was difficult for Kishora to feed the family with his little wages, he took a loan from government under a program that provided cheap loans to poor landless households. With the money, Kishora bought a buffalo and started selling milk. He also used buffalo as a means of transport by attaching wooden cart. He would carry different commodities such as clay for the potter and jaggery to the nearby village and towns like Shahpur. He gets paid for carrying and dropping these goods to the different places. By this way, Kishora gets some work and is able to earn better than earlier. Now let us recall what we have studied so far. We have studied the meaning of surplus. What is surplus? Surplus is the amount of something left over when requirements have been met. It is the excess of production or supply. After farming activities, we have also seen what are the non-farm activities that are carried out in Palampur. The first was dairy. In the dairy, that is, all the milk products was sold in the village and also transported to faraway towns and cities. Dairy is also a common activity in Palampur. After that, there are also some production that is carried on small-scale manufacturing. Here, production is done on a small level and is carried out mostly at home or in the fields with the help of family labor. Besides dairy and small-scale manufacturing, there is also small shops and general stores which sells items like rice, wheat, sugar, tea, oil, biscuits, and some clothes, pen, pencil, etc. And to carry out all these activities, all these non-farm activities, there are also various means of transportation, and it involves people in the transport services such as rickshawalas, tongawalas, jeep, tractor, truck drivers, and people driving the traditional bullock cart and buggy. As production and small business increases, transportation is also developing very fast. So with this, we conclude our today's class, and the first chapter is completed here. Thank you.